Hello and welcome to episode 183 of the Perth to Paisley podcast, a podcast dedicated to Heart of Midlothian Football Club. The Jambos soared off the bottom of the Scottish Premiership table, albeit to 11th, thanks to a 2-0 victory over Dundee at Tynecastle. And joining me, Adam Kennedy, to discuss the weekend win in Gorgie is Daniel McIver. McIver, are you on the mend? How are you feeling?
I am. Thank you to the people who left comments saying that they hope I'm all right. Yes, I am. The concussion side effects have pretty much entirely gone. My cheek's still sore because it is just fractured and will be for the next couple of months because it just will heal itself. But yeah, doing good. Back to work on Thursday. Had a nice kind of 10, 12-day period off, so can't complain. And Hearts have actually won a game of football. So who
Yay!
cares about the concussion in the face? Hearts of one. How are you?
I'm great. It's amazing what a win can do for your morale.
Yes.
I was low prior to Saturday. I thought the last thing I need is these pricks not recording another victory, a much needed win in the Scottish Premiership. Only our third of 16 games, but we're on the up, baby. That's it.
Top
Let's
six,
just
here
get,
we come.
yeah, we're on the march. Just looking at the table. Dundee are sixth. They are 6 points away.
It's
It, it,
just mad.
it is achievable. I don't care what anybody says. And to speak about the rest of the Dross League is exactly how we're going to kick off this podcast, as we're going to go around the grounds. Four other matches taking place on Saturday, the 7th of December, and a bubble appears to have burst up in the northeast as Aberdeen were held annoyingly from a Hearts perspective in a 1-1 draw at home to St Johnstone. Mackenzie Kirk, of all people, grabbing the equaliser after some dismal Dons
No,
defending.
didn't they go 1-0 up?
Sorry, you are right. Yes, they
Yeah,
took the lead. That is right. And then Aberdeen pegged them back, and you thought, oh, brilliant, they'll go on and get a
this is
winner.
it.
Yeah, they didn't. You are right. Hibernian could have and probably should have taken the lead at Celtic Park. Thankfully, spurned a few big opportunities, let's just say, eventually falling to a 3-0 defeat to league leaders Celtic in Glasgow. There was another game involving some late drama at Tannadice. Um, Dundee United taking the lead on 79 minutes roughly through who else but Sam Dalby before a late Kelly penalty sees them depart Dundee with a point. Again, another annoying result from a Hearts perspective, but we won't dwell on that too much. Um, and a team that I strongly fancied, given that I always view them to be really good in Paisley, was St Mirren. But they lost to Are They Good or Are They Shit? Motherwell at 1-0 at the Smiza Stadium, thanks to Tony Watt, of all people, grabbing the late winner for the well. Sunday's sole match saw Rangers run out 3-0 winners over Ross County in the Highlands, but nobody really cares about that. So, what did you make of the other quartet on Saturday, McIver?
The only thing I do actually have to say about Rangers Ross County is that I didn't know Jack Hamilton played for Ross County. I thought he was still at
Oh
Dundee.
my goodness, how
I thought he
bad.
was on the
Oh,
bench.
that second goal. Good
That
Lord.
second goal was like, yep, I've seen that before
Yeah.
many a time with big, good
Fair
old
play to him.
Flapjack.
He's made a career in the
He
Premiership from
has.
just being absolutely terrible. Because he was there at Livingston as well, wasn't he, last year?
Yep.
Last year?
Yeah. Yeah.
And as you say, Dundee, just a fair play to the guy, but just not of an appropriate
Mad.
standard.
Yeah. Start at Parkhead because oh my god, Kukarevich, what has happened? Like, see when they got him back, I was like, oh, I think that's an annoyingly good signing. Like he'd done well for them previously. I don't think anyone could have expected how badly it went for him, but those misses especially,
Still scored
like,
against us, of course.
oh yeah, of course, and he probably will on Boxing Day as well. Just unbelievable. You can't go to Parkhead and miss those chances and think you're going to do anything. Haha, Joe Newell. Dundee United, Killy, as you say, bit annoying for us in terms of the result because I think before Killy got that penalty, we were up to like ninth, which is hilarious in
Yeah,
and of
yeah,
itself.
but really annoying simultaneously.
Sam Dalby's just really good.
Yeah, I wonder if the analytics will throw him up as a.
I
I mean,
know.
surely that's
Yeah.
just one that's right on the doorstep that
Yeah.
you'd be willing to take a punt, surely.
They'd probably ask for stupid money though.
I know the fact he's on loan from Wrexham really annoys me. It's like, why
Yeah.
could it not be some like Premier League outfit? It's got to be like, it's not really a good look for the league, is it? When a bloke on loan from Wrexham is coming and tearing it up. But what a run he's on for
Yeah,
United.
he's doing amazing. Motherwell, again, as you say, are they
Oh
good
my
or are they
God. How
bad?
annoying are they to try and work out? I
I
mean,
know.
thanks, St Mirren, for busting the coup. Seriously, what is that?
It's
How can
very,
St Mirren beat Aberdeen and Paisley, but then get beat off Motherwell at
yeah.
home
And how can Motherwell get absolutely battered off Hibs and Dundee?
and
And
go to St Mirren
then,
and win? What? Like, how does that happen?
yeah, it just continues the discussion around how everyone in this league is of a same quality except for Celtic.
How
Like that's it.
amazingly and consistently inconsistent everybody
Yeah.
else is. Yeah.
Exactly. And speaking of that, yeah, the bubbles burst for Aberdeen. I made a bold prediction in October when they were flying that I still expected them to finish 15 points behind Rangers. I'm still sticking with that. Like now I'm a lot more confident in saying it. I wasn't at the time, but I was like, I have to stick to this because I've been very bold about it. But what's happening? Why have they suddenly just? I didn't expect it to burst in this way. With it, like I thought they'd have a big high-profile loss like they did, but then maybe go not 9 from 9 as they had been doing, but maybe 4 from 9 kind of thing and just see what's happening. But they've just suddenly went, oh no, we're just now bad. And it's like, all
Yeah,
right,
the
okay.
absolutely nosedive. What's that? Without a win in four?
Yeah. Maybe
Draw,
even
drawn.
5.
Well, I'm
I'll
thinking
find out.
drew in Edinburgh twice. Were beat off St Mirren in between that and Paisley, and now obviously held at home by St Johnstone. Is it
Yeah.
one win in five? Is that right?
They've not won in 5. They've got
Not one
one
in
win in
five. There
6.
you go. Wow.
Lost to St Mirren, draw to Hibs, draw to Hearts, lost to Celtic, draw with St Johnstone.
Oh, of course, Celtic. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
And the
Yeah,
next game is
you love to see
Hibs
it. Oh,
at Pittodrie.
oh, well, there's your bounce back right there. At
But in
least it bloody
fairness,
better be
I was
Aberdeen.
going to say, don't be against
It
that. I'm
bloody
well on
better
board
be.
with it.
Oh, it better be.
But yeah, quite a weird weekend of fixtures where everybody seemed to get something except Hibs and Aberdeen. So quite a good weekend, to be honest. I'll take those as weekends go.
Yeah. The only annoyance is that we haven't ascended that little bit further up.
Yeah, we could
But
have ascended another 2 places, like if the games had finished 4 minutes earlier, kind of thing.
but I do think that it's going to come with. I said it last week, possibly the week before. Favorable fixtures coming up. This is the perfect start, albeit like Sunday's not great, given that we're obviously going to be missing a certain someone who's
Yeah,
back in and amongst the goals, and it makes me really happy. And we're coming back from Denmark because we're going to be playing in midweek, so that's not a great fixture. But in saying that, I would rather come to Kelly from Copenhagen than I would like that. They're both minging. They're both minging games of
yeah,
the next run. We've got Petro Cub and St Johnstone at Tynecastle, Hibs at
yeah,
Tynecastle.
definitely.
It, it,
Yeah,
it then only becomes minging again when we go up to Ross County, what, the 29th?
29th.
And
Yeah,
then obviously back at home to Motherwell on the 2nd of January. So
yeah,
this next kind of wee portion's not too bad, and you're probably getting the two stinkers out of the way this week. This
agreed.
week.
And also, I'd rather travel to Killy than Killy come to us because Killy always beat us at
Oh my
Tynecastle.
God. Exactly. Yeah, we're actually due those bastards in doing the
Yeah,
reverse fixture. But we're not here to talk about Kelly. We're not here to talk about Kyle Vassell, bullying everybody and Matty Kennedy's phenomenal finish. We're here to chat about Midlothian winning at the weekend. It's not been
yay!
too common a talking point,
Nope.
but thankfully we do have another victory to discuss. And Neil Critchley made 4 changes from the Hearts team that drew 1 each with Aberdeen at Tynecastle at kick-off December. Craig Halkett and Luke Penrice,
There we go.
was available after his suspension, and they both came into the back four, replacing injured duo Frankie Kent and Stephen Kingsley. Malachi Boateng was handed a start against his old side at Benny Beningham's expense, and 17-year-old James Wilson led the line, making his first Hearts start as Alan Forrest dropped onto the bench. Now, we saw the 11 names, we saw who was on the bench. However, I really hate graphics like the graphics annoy me because
You need to. This is a
I
losing
want to know
battle.
who plays where. But like it's not too big a bugbear because every team does it. However, the mental arithmetic that you've got to do to try and work out who's playing where, what formation we're lining up in. There was talk of a 4-2-3-1, a 4-4-2, a 4-2-4. It, we saw the 11 names and I was pretty pleased. So I'm gonna read through what I perceived it to be. You can let me know what you thought it was.
Okay.
Craig Gordon in goals, a back four of Daniel Uyoke, Craig Halkett, Kai Rolls, James Luke Penrice. That's fine. I then had a midfield two of Cammy
Mhm.
Devlin and Malachi Boateng ahead of said back four.
Yep.
Musa Drama on the right, Blair Spittle on the left, and Lauren Shankland in support of young James Wilson in attack. What did you think of the graphic, the formation, the lineup? What were your thoughts when you saw that raft of names coming from at Jam Tarts?
I agree that it was a 4-2-4. I do agree that Shankland was with Wilson as like a two, but dropping a bit. Technically, it was like a 4-2-2-1-1 because Shankland and Wilson weren't right up together. Shankland was slightly deeper, but not quite as deep as a 10. It worked, whatever the fuck it was. I'm not, but I don't care about the graphics. You're part. I know there's a big contingent who does. I've made my peace with it in about
No,
2021
no,
that this is a
it
thing.
still boils my blood, I'll be honest.
I think I messaged you when it came out, just going, "Well, it's the most attacking lineup I think we've ever played."
Indeed.
Because if that hadn't, listen, it worked. It was beautiful. Love you, Neil Critchley. If that hadn't worked, what was Plan B?
I just love like Lee Carsley obviously took the England reins, and you know when it was announced that Thomas Tuchel was getting the job,
Mhm.
and he was like in charge of the last game, he just went, "I'm just gonna stick
Just
on a load of
fuck it.
midfielders and attackers, and whatever happens, happens." This was kind of the same thing here. It was basically like, "Yeah, we've not been that defensively sound. We're just gonna try and outscore you, and if it works, it
Yeah.
works." I
And
wonder
it
if
did.
that's has Critchley become like a Jurgen Klopp disciple and just with his
We
time at
suddenly start
Liverpool,
gegging pressing the fuck out of everybody.
but has he just gone bollocks to this defending malarkey? Whatever happens, happens. Just throw bodies forward
That would
and
be
try and
fun.
outscore. I'm all on board. That is right up my street.
It would be fun. As a person who really likes defensive football, I wouldn't be a massive fan of it if unless we were winning literally every game. If we were winning every game, I'd be fine. But if there was even a slight hiccup, I'd be like, yeah, this is not going to work long term. But we kept a clean sheet. We
I know.
looked solid as
Fantastic.
houses at the back,
Yeah.
under no pressure at all. So whatever he did, I was a huge fan of it, and it worked.
Is that down to Dundee being poor, us being really good, or a little bit of both?
I think it's 70-30 us being
Us
good.
being good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because listen, you cannot say that a team who comes to play a game of football and has zero shots on target played well, right? You can't. It's not one of those situations where it's like, oh, they're not even playing that bad, but we're blowing them away. It's like, no, they were really poor, and I expected a lot more from Dundee. But
So did
still,
I.
we just got it tactically spot on. It was helped by individuals really performing, but generally it was individuals playing well in a system that clearly was designed to make individuals play really well.
Two of those individuals that you mentioned, I thought were excellent on that left hand side. James Penrice and Blair Spittle. Spittle setting Penrice on his bike down the left hand side after 6 minutes. A common theme in this match throughout, with that duo linking up. The fullback eventually centres for Musa Drama, but he can't quite divert his effort
I don't
goalward.
think he knew it was. I think he thought Wilson
No.
was going to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. There's one of them that kind of catches him off guard, and then by the time he realizes that the ball's intended for him, I guess he's just like, yeah, just a muddle and a mix-up. Um, Speaking of Blair Spittle, he goes in search of James Wilson, a long ball forward on 10 minutes. Our teenage talent looking to get on the end of the pass, hunts down John McCracken in the Dundee goal, who didn't cover himself in glory throughout the 90 minutes. Let's just
No.
say the Dundee keeper then kicks long, a poor touch from Lyle Cameron, sees the ball set up for the aforementioned Blair Spittle, and he just volleys from halfway with McCracken in absolute no man's land. But sadly, his audacious effort trickled past the post. I tipped Blair Spittle to score last week in the podcast purely because he's ex-Dundee United, and that'll obviously be a common theme. But I don't think there would have been a more puzzling or
Yeah.
bizarre goal scored at Tynecastle this season.
Yeah, it would have been interesting. I will say, because yeah, he was fucking awful for 90 minutes.
Terrible.
Fair play to McCracken for having the confidence to go, this is going wide, I'm just going to leave this. Yeah,
I
he was
know
bad.
he looks so chill even as he's running
Yeah,
back. I'm like, oh, because from where I was, obviously the angle wasn't great, so I'm thinking, oh my God, that's surely not. No, no. And
yeah.
then you obviously then just see it trickle past because he obviously sprints back. But even towards the end, I think he
He
then
starts to be
realizes
like,
and he,
ah,
yeah, he
okay.
like jogs. It
Yeah.
turns into a wee jog. It was weird.
But the main thing to speak about is that by far our player of the year is James Luke Penrice. Like, it's
Without a shadow of a doubt.
unbelievable.
Just give him it now.
Yeah,
There's no
like,
point waiting until May. I don't care who comes in January. He has been phenomenal from the very minute that he touched down at
yeah.
Hearts. Incredible.
Also, you will absolutely know this more than me. Has there been a better left back in the league this season? I
Oh,
know it's weird to say considering where we
there's
are.
a question.
Like, has Greg Taylor been exceptional for Celtic? Has Greg Taylor even been playing for
No.
Celtic?
I would argue Jimmy Telleen's got a tune out of Jack McKenzie that I didn't think was possible.
Right, okay.
But in terms of kind of as like a main player for a team, probably not. No,
I
no.
love him so much. He's
I
so good.
can't think of anybody. Will Ferry at Dundee United's been quite good. The wing
Right,
back, he's been all
okay.
right. I don't
But
know.
do any of them have
I,
interchangeable first names? No. So
no.
therefore, Luke James Penrice is the best.
Do any of them have their squad number tattooed on their arm? And
Exactly.
am I tempted to get a 29 tattoo as a result? Possibly. I have no affiliation
You
to the
have
number
to
29.
see, right. That we should have known then that he was going to be good. Because the balls you have to be like, I'm tattooing a squad number on me, and I will then just be also really good. So that's not one of the first things people mention about me. Now that's just a fun little fact. See if he was shite, that would be the only thing people spoke about.
Do you know who I'm thinking of? As you're saying that,
Who?
one of your love hates has got 16 tattooed on his arm.
Oh, he fucking does. Don't even. How dare
Andrew
you?
William Halliday deserves more respect.
How dare you even suggest that I have a love hate relationship with that man? It's a
He loves you, but
tolerate
you hate
hate.
him.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair. All right, I'll accept that. That's fair enough then.
God,
I cannot
Jesus.
believe you've just compared Penrice to fucking Halliday in any way.
No, I haven't. I haven't. Both played for Livingston. Both have lovely left pegs. However, it isn't thanks to Andy Halliday that Hearts take the lead on 21 minutes, but James Luke Penrice has a key part to play in the goal. Craig Halkett drives forward before finding Blair Spittle on halfway. Yet again, the former Motherwell midfielder driving forward sends a low drive himself towards the Dundee goal. McCracken spills, James Wilson recovers before sending it back to our wonderful left back. A lovely cross from deep. A really pleasing part, actually, of both he and Daniel Ugoki's performance for me was the deep crosses.
Yep.
And this ball in is met by Lawrence Shankland and his five-finger forehead as he nods over the goalkeeper into the net. The long drought is over. The former Dundee United striker has scored against the Tangerine City rivals. But more importantly, it's Heart of Midlothian 1, Dundee 0, and Lawrence Shankland is back amongst the goals. I cannot believe that is coming out my mouth. I'm so happy.
There's so many things I want to speak about with this goal. The first one is I kind of had a feeling Shankland might score after the 4th minute when he sent that shot like flying miles wide and he fell and the Dundee stand all were like way and took the piss out
Yeah.
of him. I was like, This feels like he's going to then score and do something to them. Um, I'm
Again, I sort of tipped it. Like
yeah,
I jokingly tipped it. I didn't actually think that it would come to fruition, but
yeah,
I'm so happy to see that happen. He's got a really good recent record against
he does.
Dundee,
He
which
does.
is which is very pleasing.
That goal is like we were saying before we came on air. It feels like Shanklin's calling card. A left back sends a deep cross. Now, obviously, for 2 seasons it was Alex Cochrane,
Oh,
but now
you had
it's
to go
the
there.
equally as good. I'm getting to the stage
Nice.
now
Wow.
of Penrice where he doesn't need to do anything with it. He just needs to send it back across goal. Um, the relief, as everyone is saying, is obvious on his
It was
face.
palpable. It was
Yeah,
certainly palpable.
I'm so hopefully it's so cliche, but it's like hopefully this is it now, and it's like let's go, let's.
Do you know what's so annoying is that I would
He's
love for
suspended.
this to be the start, but again, suspended Sunday. You're just
Yeah,
like, really? Like
yeah,
this has summed up his campaign so far. It's
I
like
know.
brilliant. This is it. And then something like this comes along, and you're just like thinking, but is this a good game for him to be suspended for?
Yeah, it is. I think it is because it's like, I mean, unless he gets hurt in Denmark, and then it's an absolute disaster. But it's like,
You'd rather him be available for St Johnstone,
yes,
Hibs, Ross
exactly,
County. All.
100%.
I mean, obviously County up there, but those two home games. Like the
If you
fact that
don't
he's
have
obviously
him,
now
it's a disaster.
and he's back in the goals, having scored at Tynecastle. The
Yeah,
crowd's on his side because let's face it, they weren't in Bruges. So
yeah.
yeah, like he needed that, we needed that. It was just one of those moments where it was like I honestly, I thought I was going to start crying. Like this is, tears were going to be in my eyes. Like this is just beautiful. I
I'll be
missed him
honest.
so much.
I was focusing more on the Penrice assist, but something else that I focused on a lot, and this is kind of the best time probably to speak about him, is the fact that none of that is possible without Craig Halkett making that pass. And Craig Halkett has come in from the coldest cold
The
and been
abyss,
told,
it really is.
you now have to play 2 full games and just get on with it in the most like must-win period in recent years. And he's been sensational. Like he's
He really
not put a
has.
foot wrong. And that, like, my stance is this. See when he's fully fit at his best. I don't even mean just now, really, because Halkett is still coming back. We see the back spasms where he's kind of like, oh, I can't remember
He's
who
a
it
wee
was.
tease.
Somebody made the point that when Shanklin scores this, Halkett doesn't actually run to celebrate. He just starts walking, clearly with the attitude of, they'll meet me as they're coming back to the halfway line. It's fine. I'm not exerting
Yeah.
further energy. And it's like, fine, Halks. If that's what you're doing, fine, go for it. But when
Just him
Halkett,
trudging back up
yeah,
towards the ball.
exactly. When Halkett is fully fit, he is a far better player than Frankie Kent. And is first
Wow.
choice. Just now, Kent doesn't get back in when Kent's fit. Obviously, I don't mean like I don't even know. Is Halkett even registered for the European games?
I think so. I think he's been on the bench. Carry on.
I genuinely don't know. And also, it's then a plastic pitch we're playing on at Kilmarnock. I don't know how that's going to fuck up his back and his hamstrings and his knees. Probably not great. And also, just the little game time he's had, he probably can't just keep playing every single game. But generally, for example, Petrofac and St Johnstone, I'd want Craig Halkett starting over Frankie Kent.
Throwback.
I love how much it makes you laugh, so I'm just sticking with it.
He's he's been on the bench for
Right,
yeah
so he is
the
registered.
Nicosia victory, Heidenheim defeat,
So I'd play Kent
Bruges defeat, whatever.
in Copenhagen because I just think we're going to get battered anyway. So I don't think it matters. So give Halkett
Okay.
like a
You
break
say this like
there.
Frankie Kent's available. Is he available?
Well, he was
Like we don't.
apparently nearly available for the Dundee game.
Okay, so
So
you're saying to put him back in for Copenhagen because we're not expected to get a result.
yeah, I just don't think we're going to win. And it means Halkett can just have a breather. It's like, right, okay. I don't know what to do about the Killie game because it is a plastic pitch, and I worry that that fucks Halkett up. That's where he got hurt on the Airdrie pitch. He got hurt on that fucking pitch, and then he was out for half a year.
Yesterday.
Um, I
At
would rather
least,
have,
and the rest.
yeah, I would rather have Halkett for the two home games we've got coming up than the two away games. But I just think it's so amazing that he's been this good.
I did not deem this possible at all.
Nah,
Like I was probably I'm coming at this. I'm trying to come at this from the kindest place that I possibly can, but I was one of those that was probably happy to see him depart the club in either the upcoming window or upon the expiry of his deal. As he played his way into a new contract for you, then yeah,
I don't know because I need to see if he can stay fit. If he can stay fit, then yeah. And I
then
don't even need
absolutely.
him. I don't even need him playing every week. But just if he can be a regular squad player, it's like, yeah, absolutely. And that's what I mean. I mean, like,
Of the Benny Brigham mold, if you will.
yeah, who just doesn't, whose knee just keeps giving up
Just
on
turns
him
up when he
all the
wants.
time. Yeah, exactly. He's just like, I'll rock up, play a 10 out of 10 game, then miss three in a row. Is that fine with you? And I'm like, no, Benny, it's not. But apparently that seems to be the fucking way. But it is fine when Cammy Devlin's the greatest player we've ever seen.
I mean, you mentioned it there. The front two look to link up as the lively Wilson, who I thought was really good actually
Yeah.
on Saturday, chases down a Cammy Devlin pass out wide. The tricky teen cuts back for Lauren Shankland, peels off his marker, takes a touch, and looks to catch McCracken out at his near post, but Dundee deflect it behind for a corner kick. Cammy Devlin in recent matches has been superb,
The Aussie Makelele.
absolutely excellent. The Melbourne Makelele.
Yeah, Melbourne Makelele. Perfect.
Try to think about a city or a town
Yeah, you've
in
smashed it.
Australia
You've
there.
smashed it. He's just been amazing. He's
He
just
really
been
has.
fantastic. And I'm so glad because I said it last week. We've always been Cammy Devlin defenders
We do like
on this
Cammy.
podcast, and folk just made up this narrative that he can't do anything just because sometimes he's not very good at passing. But in terms of what you want Cammy Devlin to do, he's the
He
best
does
in
it
the
really
league.
well. Yeah, he does. He does do it really well. He is kind of an exception recently where it's like players have signed a new contract whilst at Hearts and then they've been shit.
Yeah,
He's actually signed a new deal somewhat recently and is like
it's become better.
justified why we've offered it.
Yeah,
Like this doesn't usually happen. It usually
yeah.
goes the other way. Like what? I don't know what Neil Critchley's done with him. I don't know kind of if he's taking him one on one, like who he's shown, who he's trying to model his game off. But whatever has been happening,
Makelele.
keep it going, Melbourne Makelele. Um, and it was to go from good to even better on 31 minutes. The ball is bouncing around the Dundee box. Malachi Boateng does well to maintain possession. He finds Blair Spittle, who, just like the opener, looks for Luke out on the left-hand side. Penrice whips a low ball into the box, which John McCracken really doesn't need to get a touch on, but he does anyway. Palms it into the path of Lauren Shankland, who, having waited since the 28th of September, has scored a goal and bagged a brace in the space of 10 minutes. Heart of Midlothian 2, Dundee nil. The main man is finally back.
This friend of the podcast, Andrew Petrie, said on Sports Scene, like Lothian buses, one of the worst
Oh,
analogies I've ever heard.
I didn't mind it. Did
I
not
did.
mind it.
I minded it a lot. Um, I was really worried in the immediate moment it was going to get pulled back from VR with Boateng's jump up, where it just looks like he kills the guy. I was really worried in that moment. I was like, fuck. It's like, Shanklin's just got this. It's huge for his confidence. Do not let this bit pull back. But it didn't, so it's fine. Penrice just continues to be Penrice. I don't know what McCracken's doing. Like, it's a weird decision to do that combination of things. Like, I understand wanting to get a touch on it, but surely if you want to get a touch on it, you're only doing it if you think you can claim it.
Yeah. Yeah, and pull it into your body.
Yeah, it's
I'm
so
no, I'm
weird
no
that he's like, I'm going to
goalkeeping
push it
expert, but
further out.
yeah. And into the path of a guy that's already beaten you this afternoon,
Yeah, I
was
don't
the most
understand.
prolific striker in the entire division last year. Like,
I'll just chuck
yeah,
it at him. Now, do you think Shanklin knows what he's doing by putting it into the ground? Or do you think he just goes, I just need to get contact on this, and he sclaffs it into the ground, but it works? Because I think it's the latter. And then he can
I
run
would
away going, I meant that. It's
no,
fine.
I would like to think it's the former. However, I'll be honest, it didn't really come into my thinking, and now you've put me in a bit of a tricky position.
I think it's the
Um,
latter. But I don't care. He won't care. It doesn't matter. It went in.
I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, Lawrence. You meant that all day breakfast. What a fantastic finish! My man knows what he's doing. I'm so happy he's back scoring goals. This is great. How gutted are you going to be when he just gets himself back in the shop window and then he
And then
departs,
he
having
fucks
signed a
up.
pre-contract in January? That's really going to
Yeah.
sting. Really
Yeah.
going to sting. But I just it was like a fire in his belly. Our fiery forward was back.
Yeah.
A point like he's not really got a point to prove, but he does.
He
And
does
just
have a point to prove. He scored 1 in 25.
but he was firing shots from everywhere. It was just like just let the strap down, just
You could tell he
go
was
gung ho.
confident after the first because yeah, he did just start, especially in the second half. He had like
Oh
loads
my
of chances where
God.
he had time, but he was like, "Nah, fuck this. I'm back. I'm just going to
Yeah.
start pinging these."
The Midas touch is back in the books,
Yeah,
lads. It's fine. Calm down. Um, before we chat about obviously entering half time into a really commanding position, I was going to try and attempt to pronounce the Dundee loanee's name. Oluwaseun Adewumi blazes over the
oh yeah,
bar
yeah.
in a rare Dundee opportunity as we can't quite deal with a D long throw. It's quite rare that we chat about the opposition selection um, on this podcast, but I have to admit, I was very surprised to see both Scott Tiffany and Simon Murray on the bench for the visitors at the
Couldn't
weekend.
he?
Players players that have caused us problems in the past, particularly Tiffany, I thought, in the reverse fixture at Dens, I
Yeah,
thought he was excellent. Simon Murray, I think, is just an outright pest. Um, I thought it was a really negative approach from Dundee, and I'm surprised given Tony Docherty is an experienced coach. I think he'll have been to Tynecastle many a time, and he'll know that we're in a precarious position. If the crowd get anxious, angry, these visiting teams can often use this to their advantage. I'm really surprised that he was quite as negative and kind of doom and gloom in his selection.
it was so weird because I hadn't actually seen the Dundee team until the game kicked off. Like I wasn't paying attention to their team as I was coming in, and then when I was in the ground, I didn't pay attention to what it was when it was being announced. So it was as it kicked off, I turned and on the screen I could see. But as they were coming out, I was like, "Where's Simon Murray?" Because obviously, bluntly, his ginger head sticks out when he's coming out. So I was like, "Well, that's missing." But
Wee carrot
then
top.
when I looked at the team, I was like, he's also dropped Tiffany. Tiffany was the big one for me because I was like, all right, okay, Murray, like, he's clearly just going a different system and that. But Tiffany is one that, I mean, I might be wrong, Dundee fans, correct me, but I just feel like Tiffany's one of their best midfielders.
Yeah, I think he's a talented player. I will be honest. Part of my thinking was I'm really disappointed because my bet won't be voided. I stuck some money on Simon Murray to score or be shown a card at even money. I mean, that is just what a price. Absolutely printing money. 86 minute cheese slice. Thanks for coming, Simon. See you later, little ginger. He's
I
back up
will
to Dundee.
say, he came on at half time and you couldn't have told me he was playing for the rest of the game because Halkett
You
just
know,
had him completely, he
yeah,
did
copied him.
nothing.
You spoke about Lawrence Shankland and his attempts to do the audacious, let's just say. On 51 minutes, he appeared to be back in the groove. Just tries a cheeky chip at the edge of the box in search of his, and
McCracken's
Mark's first goal
basically
of the
still on
afternoon.
his line. I don't even understand why he did it.
I know. Like, had he been in the position that he was when he kicked to Blair Spittle on halfway, you'd have gone, yeah, fair enough, Lawrence, but I really don't know what he's trying.
No idea.
Fair play, though. Like, he's just in one of those moods where it's like, yeah,
Aye,
doesn't matter what I do. I've scored today. I'm back in the goals,
yeah.
so get it right round everybody. Um, just after the hour mark, we had a penalty appeal waved away. The elusive first Scottish Premiership penalty of the season continues to go a begging for Hearts. Ethan Ingram off the bench, tussling with Lauren Shankland, but Andrew Dallas on the VAR doesn't deem it worthy of a Hearts spot kick.
Then
And
Shanklin gets booked for Silla buying a free kick.
mate,
that means he's
Like,
booked. Was it Colin Stephen, the
it
ref?
was Colin Stephen.
What was happening with that weird drop ball thing where he
Oh
just
my
then
God, don't.
wouldn't allow
Like,
Devlin to, it was
listen,
terrible.
that could be the worst officiating performance of the season so far.
It was really bad. I can't think of one off the
Yeah,
top of my head
terrible.
that is as bad. Just
It was up there. Like,
not in
wait,
things that decided the game, which is when
no,
you know it's worse. When we comfortably win 2-0 and we're still sat there going, that was a terrible refereeing performance. How bad do you have to be?
I know. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Like, you, you, you don't really care as much if you pick up the result. We have
Yeah,
picked up the result, and I'm still,
still raging.
yeah. Like, as you say, the drop ball. I mean, it's not really a high foot from Shankland, is it? If we're being honest.
Nah, I will be honest, I've not seen the penalty shout back, but I felt like it was a penalty at the time because it felt like Shanklin had half his shirt off.
Look, I mean, you've got that and a handball later on that I thought was like,
Oh
just
God, I forgot about that. I've not seen that back either.
like again, it doesn't matter because we
Yeah,
picked
you
the
know
result.
it's
But
bad
but
when the winning
these little
team
things,
that comfortably
yeah.
won is sat there going, "What a terrible performance."
But also, just because we've won shouldn't excuse the fact
Yeah,
that
totally.
like these people are employed to do this job.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit that it's part time and like I don't know who Colin Stevens supports. If he does support a football team, just do your job well or do it
Yeah.
better than you have done previously. Like, I don't even I don't even know if it's from a selfish point of view, as though to make it out like it's all like I don't really know what he's trying to achieve here.
Colin Stephen is one of those refs that I feel like is very much like, I'm the referee, so I'm deciding what happens. There's other refs that really are
But you're
like,
in charge and the game's passing
I know
by.
exactly, yeah, yeah. It
Like,
just, every single Scottish game that happens, I just want those Norwegian men who were in charge for Heidenheim, where I was like, why have, they
this
are
is
above
great.
every ref I've ever seen in this division.
So annoying. Another annoyance was on 64 minutes, Daniel Ugoki's cross evades Musa Drama. It can't quite fall for James Wilson as he looked to mark his first Heart start with a goal, having already scored at the Gorgie end against St Mirren this season. It's a wee bit of too heavy a touch for the young man. That would have capped off a really wonderful afternoon because
Yeah.
that first Heart start, I mean, obviously, Lauren Shanklin steals the headlines as he did so often last season, but really a solid showing from, I mean, a 17-year-old who has bailed us out in the derby already this season. That I really, I can't express how pleased I am to finally see a youngster be given a chance in an attacking area.
Definitely. I will be honest, I still don't think he's ready to play regularly for us in terms of his size. I think he's just a bit too small just
Yeah,
now to feature. What I mean is, his current role is really good because it's like he's not being relied on to play every single game. He can come on at
flashes and
times.
you're up
Yeah,
against tired legs and whatever. Yeah,
exactly. And his off the ball work, especially in the first
really
half,
good.
was amazing. It really allowed Shanklin to have more freedom, dragged players away. Really well done. I am just so, as you say, it's such a relief to actually see a forward come through from the academy and do well. But you mentioned him there. I don't think there's any other time to mention him. I thought Oyugoke again was
Very
really
good.
good at the weekend because obviously Penrice takes all the headlines from the fullbacks, but Oyugoke I feel like has just quietly been solid for the last few games.
That's what I was going to say as well. He's not. It's not even like the right back position's up for debate still,
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
But because as you say, neither have nailed down the place like James Penrice, who is just a wonderful footballer, has on the left. So yeah, I mean, in terms of trying to make that berth your own, that was a strong showing from Oyugoki to put forward his case for that,
yeah.
definitely. Um, on 71 minutes, a young man that's come into the team recently as well, who you've been clamoring for, I've kind of been clamoring for, and obviously rescued us last weekend was Musa Drama. He has the ball
Oh yeah,
hilariously in the back of the net on 71 minutes. Go on.
right. I don't under. Is this not a second phase?
See,
I don't
I,
know the
I,
rules, right?
I
In terms
thought
of
so.
that.
I thought so at the game. That's what I was going to say. So Lauren Shankland slips through the Spaniard. Virtually, it looks like he's just kind of in the
He's
Dundee half.
offside. Yeah, he's
He
offside
is
in that
offside. He is offside.
action.
John McCracken, who had a nuke, rushes out to boot off a Dundee defender. The ball then bounces off him and behind the goalkeeper. Musa, who's just given up on the chance, can't he believe his luck,
First of
slots
all, he
home.
looks up in the sky. He doesn't know where
Yeah,
the ball is, even though it's at his feet.
and he's like, oh, I've actually got the chance to slip one in here ahead of the Ultras.
Could have had 3-3.
It just coolly converts after even taking the piss and allowing John McCracken to make it look as though he's going to catch him. And then, obviously, it gets blown back. The officials, as you say, they get it right. He is offside initially. I didn't think so at the game because it's come from Shankland's pass. But then I'm with you. I thought
I don't
because
know if that
then,
is a second phase, though.
but yeah, because I thought if it comes off the Dundee defender, that's not Musa's fault.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
he's, do you know, like, yeah, I don't
Is the
know.
inference there, though, that the only reason that happens is because Moose's in an offside position in the first place, so
From the get-go,
McCracken
yeah,
has to come out?
has to react
That
to
must
that.
be the
Yeah,
reaction.
yeah,
But I don't
I
think
think
that's
so.
a great
Yeah,
definition of what happened there.
put it this way, like Dundee were never getting back into that game. Just let the goal stand. Let it
Also,
stand.
I like, by the way, that this is a theme with every week Perth Paisley tries to give Musa Drama a goal because we did it with
That's right.
Nicky Devlin last week. But
That's right.
I
Start him up
think,
front on Sunday.
yeah,
There you go. And regardless, he'll have scored in our eyes.
I think, regardless, just for the laws of football, if you manage to clear it off your opposition, off your own defender's face, and it
Oh,
ends up behind you, all rules should be void because you deserve to concede. Like, it
could
doesn't
not agree.
matter.
Could not agree anymore.
And listen,
I'm firmly with
I'm
you.
willing to accept that that'll then happen to us because it's us. But I'd be willing to take
Well,
that.
yeah, get it right round us. That's what
Yeah,
I say.
because it would be funny.
I'm with you. Um, I mentioned kind of Ethan Ingram handling in the area from Blair Spittle's shot on 74 minutes. Again, our appeals are waved away by the officials. Cammy Devlin had that low drive at goal
Yep.
that John McCracken palms away yet again. This was the common theme of him palming away and us causing chaos and carnage. Um, but only really two other chances to speak about. Antonio Portales heads over Julian Vetro's free kick for the visitors on 89 minutes. That told the story, as you say. Dundee didn't muster a single shot on target, and ultimately the main man's returned to punish them. Really poor showing.
They were just like, I don't know what I expected, to be honest, because the league is so compact, we'll say, in a
One
nice
way of
way,
putting it.
right? But Dundee are before the game, were at the top end of that compaction. So I was like,
Destroyed us at Dens in the
yeah,
reverse fixture. We were
absolutely ruined
dismal that
us.
day.
Absolutely battered Motherwell merely days before. So I was
Battered
like,
Hibs at Dens. Like,
yeah,
honestly.
exactly. I was like, all right, okay.
Crazy.
Again, much like St Mirren when Critchley beat them 4-0, I didn't expect it to be so bad. But I'm not complaining at all. It was Craig Gordon won't have an easier 90 minutes this season.
We didn't need the victory. We will
Yeah,
certainly not be
exactly.
complaining.
100%.
And on 93 minutes, a chance for our number nine to grab his hat trick. Another fantastic cross from Daniel Ugo met well by Shankland, who steers towards goal. Again, McCracken spills. Wee Kenny Vargas looks to rescue the chance. He tries to cut back for Alan Forrest, who sees his effort cleared off the line, and Dundee eventually clear. The hat trick wasn't to be for Lawrence Shankland, but as I mentioned on Clyde One Super Scoreboard, driving home from the match, available now on all the podcast platforms. Saturday, the what was it, 8th, 7th,
8th.
7th. Our skipper certainly needed that. We needed that. A good victory, a platform to now go on, pick up some more points, and 11th is the lowest that I want us to be for the rest of this season.
That's fair. I don't know if that will be the case. We might drop
No.
down once or twice more. But yeah, listen, I think I've said it a couple of times this season already. I've never agreed with the idea of that we are clearly the worst team in this league. I've never agreed that we're in. Honestly, I've never really agreed that we're in danger of relegation. I feel like now you look at it and just go. And also, now the flip side to that is I don't think Hibs are either, which is sad. So
You mentioned them there. I've just seen on Saturday. Who do they play? Ross County
yeah, they play Ross
East.
County.
Oh, of course we're going to drop down. Oh, don't be this tit for tat malarkey. Like, I
Yeah,
can't be arsed.
I think that's what's going to happen. So, but generally, I don't think Hearts and Hibs will finish 11th and 12th. I don't think either will finish in either position, which is both good and bad because I'd like Hibs to.
That'd be
Um,
funny.
but it couldn't have gone better. And hopefully now, as you say, it does just give us a platform to go, right, look, we'll be fine. We'll get to January. The algorithm will come in. They'll bring us Evan Ferguson and we'll get third. And it's fine.
There you go, James Wilson. There's your tutor for the
Yeah,
rest of the season.
exactly. Learn from him. A big Irish guy.
But you're right. The fixtures keep coming thick and fast, particularly over the festive period. Hearts head for Copenhagen in their midweek match. Plenty jambos out there descending on Denmark to cheer on the men in maroon against the team who are currently top of the Super League Again.
Yep.
Tried that. In a Europa Conference League clash, we're not really expecting anything from Copenhagen, are we?
No. Well, we're expecting a
Not
lot from
expecting anything from
Copenhagen
us in
themselves, yeah.
Copenhagen. Yeah.
Um, I just think we're going to get absolutely battered and just be like, okay, thanks for the nice time. It's been great to be in your city and your country.
Thanks for the pints.
Yeah, I think we're going to get beat like 5 or 6-0. They're a Champions League team. Why are they in this?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at the forward line. Mohamed El Yunusi and Jordan Larson. If either of them start, get the house on them.
Like, what's happening?
That's an absolute certainty. Ronnie Bargy is an FM Wonder kid. You'll be familiar with him,
Yes,
McIver.
I was literally just about to
Yeah.
say, I know him from
Um,
FM.
Thomas Delaney, good experience with
Delaney's
Scotland.
there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Started his career there. It appears to be ending it. I say ending it. He's 33, so he's got a couple of years left.
I was going to say, I thought
Um,
that was why I was confused. I was like, he's still in his prime nearly, but I didn't realize, I
yeah,
thought he was like 31. I didn't realize he was 30. Time is moving too fast.
it really is.
Royce plays for LA Galaxy. I did not know this.
Yeah, neither did I. So I saw that they won
And
the
then I
MLS
just
the
saw
other
a
day.
picture of him
Yeah,
holding the cup. And I was like,
yeah,
what do you
yeah.
mean you're there?
What do you mean? Yeah.
I was just like,
Uh,
what? I know that's complete. How have we ended up with Marco Royce winning the league at LA Galaxy when you've asked me how do you think we'll do in Copenhagen?
absolutely no idea.
I think we'll get
That's
absolutely battered. What about you?
that is just the tangents that we go down on this podcast. I think we will
Don't you dare.
um get beat.
Yeah.
Not that convincingly.
You've knackered it now. We 4-0 did in 10 minutes.
No, look. Who cares? As you say,
Yeah, who gives a shit, man?
Petrofac to come. The crowd are going to be absolutely blutered. It's meant to be
Yeah.
a great stadium and it looks cool. So
Yeah.
hope everybody has a great time.
That's
but
the
don't expect
analysis
anything-
you're here for. It
Don't
looks
expect-
cool.
Don't expect anything from the football because,
Yeah.
as always, the football is the most disappointing aspect of these trips. So stay safe, enjoy your swallies, have a great time.
Try not fight each other like apparently happened in Belgium.
Don't give the captain stick because he's just got back in the goals. We don't need him to get fuck. Acknowledge the players. They're trying their best. They're giving it their all. They're up against a better team. Let's just all calm down.
He sounds like Lawrence Shanklin's mum. Like he's trying his best. All right,
They
you
gave
do
Matt
better.
Lawrence too much stick.
Exactly.
I don't like it. I knew that he shouldn't have moved to the east. Coming back to Scotland was a bad idea. And
At least
then-
he's got you.
and then we head from Copenhagen to Kilmarnock, two very similar places, two very similar football teams. We take on Killy. in Sunday's sole Scottish Premiership match at Rugby Park. We mentioned it earlier. The skipper, our much beloved Lauren Shankland, is suspended thanks to an accumulation of yellow cards. Who's in line to replace him? What do you do with that front four stroke, two wingers, stroke, two centre forwards, stroke, whatever bloody shape we play? What's your solution?
I think this is the marker and almost not the final chance, obviously not, but
Oh
just
God.
a game where I'm like, right, I need you to finally turn up, Jan Dander. I need you
Oh.
to do something finally. Number 10, behind Musa, with Spittle and either Forrest or Vargas on the other side.
Forest.
Forrest. Yeah, Jan Dander, do something against a team that's 10th.
Wow. Interesting. Might be
I
his type
wouldn't
of
go
game.
too
Try and make
exactly.
Killian a
Yeah,
little bit more defensively robust. Try and
I
break through
wouldn't
them.
put
Interesting.
Wilson against the Giants of Kilmarnock because I think we did
No,
that at home, didn't we? And it didn't
no. I,
work.
I, I was hoping that we would after the derby and before we played Killy. Then I realised that Killy are literally like I don't know, like as you say, the land of the giants, the back
Yeah, they've
four of
got
the giants.
Amazonians at the back. Like it's unbelievable. It's insane how big they are. So yeah, James Wilson isn't going to do it. So it's like a lot of getting in behind, unlocking doors. Dander should be able to do that for Musa.
Yeah,
And
if
that's what I
Musa's
mean. I
in
don't mean it's
form
like
or
last
again,
chance for him or
would you go
anything.
a Vargas up there? Vargas scored
Yeah,
against them
that's what I mean. Yeah,
last season.
whoever
Yeah,
you want to go with. But it, and that's what I mean. I don't mean it's the last chance for Dander, but I feel like it's last chance for him to prove that he should be a starter already, because that's just now halfway through the season, and he's shown
and he's not nailed down a
nothing.
place. Yeah,
Like Spittle's been
yeah.
10 times the player.
I was going to say exactly that when you've got the comparison to Blair Spittle. I thought it'd be more Jan Dander than it would
One
Blair
hundred
Spittle, if I'm
percent.
honest.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just not played out that way. But yeah, two tough matches.
yeah.
Predictions for both.
I think we'll get beat 5-0
Is it back to
in
back defeats?
Copenhagen.
5-0.
Yeah, I
Wow.
think we're good. Yeah, but they're a Champions League
Really?
team. And they're like they're the pot one team. They're amazing. They're doing really well domestically. They've been able to rest players. They just played a second string side at the weekend because they've just been able to
There's
focus
a young
completely on
man that's done
this.
his research. I like it.
See, they literally just played like a bunch of 18-year-olds and subs domestically, and they're because if they win this, that's it. I think if they win this, it almost guaranteed because they've started off badly. They didn't win their first two games. They need to win this. I think.
I'm just gonna have a look at the conference table
Um,
as you say that.
so as a result, I just think it is going to be. I think it's going to be the first time where we really see the difference in squad valuations because I know we've spoken about that for Ammonia, spoken about that for Minsk, spoken about that with Heidenheim, all these kind of parties, and it's never really shown. I think this will be the time it actually shows.
We are a point ahead and two
Right,
places ahead. We're in 17th out of the 36, so literally as mid-table as
as
we need to
mid-table as you
be.
can be.
Copenhagen are 19th.
Right,
So yeah, 1-1, drawn 2, lost 1, scored 6, conceded 6, goal difference of zilch. Who have they played in this competition? They've drawn 2 each with Başakşehir. They won 2-1 in Minsk, like a particular team that I know. Or was that in Azerbaijan against Minsk, like we obviously did.
yeah.
Um, what else? They drew in Seville against Real Betis.
They got beat by
Uh,
somebody's shit.
Jagiellonia Bialystok,
The famous.
Polish team, the famous Poles. A 98th minute winner for them, and
Wow,
Copenhagen took the lead on 12 minutes and still somehow lost. So yeah, and then Kelly, sorry, what was your Kelly prediction?
that's what I'm thinking of. 1-1.
Don't
I
think it's
just
far off the mark.
I don't know why I'm never confident going to Killy, even though I swear we've actually been all right there recently.
Yeah, Rugby Park, we have got a decent recent record, I think.
I don't know what it is. I'm just not
Again,
confident.
annoyingly, just can't beat them at Tynecastle, which is
Yeah,
is really really frustrating.
I'll go 1-1. Musa drama.
I
'Cause
don't
I
think
love
that's
him.
a bad result. A point
No, neither do I. Neither do I.
at the weekend. I really don't. I would take that, to be honest, particularly with the travel.
Yep.
coming back. No Shankland. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're far off there.
What about you?
I
You're not getting
I
away with
think
this.
we'll get beat 3-1 in Copenhagen. I'm gonna say that the
That's not a
travel
bad
fans
result.
will get a goal. Um and yeah, I can't see past one each to be fair. Would love if we went to Killian one, but I just can't
I'd
see it
take
again.
getting beat like 8-0 on Thursday
Yeah,
if it meant we went to Killian 1.
absolutely. Yeah, I'll go one each, and I will say Alan Forrest will get a goal.
I'd like that. I hope that's the case.
Absolutely. But before we go, the end is near quiz. You have
Oh God.
three multiple choices,
That means they're all bastards.
a true or false, and of course the famous "Who am I?" or the infamous "Who am I?"
Yeah.
Your first question, Daniel McIver. Prior to the weekend, Lauren Shankland had more shots than any other player in the Scottish Premiership this season. How our skipper had scored once from how many attempts at goal? A, 47, B, 48, C, 49, or D, 50?
Well, my answer before it was I didn't remember it was multiple choice. My answer was going to be 70. So I'm glad there was choices. What did you say? 50 to 47?
Yes.
48.
Back on the money. 48
Come
it
on!
was. That
A
was
complete
impressive.
stab in the dark. Get in.
Exactly, complete random, and he somehow plucked it from thin air. Very good.
Get in.
Question number two. Following his brace against Dundee, Lauren Shankland became the first Hearts player to surpass 50 league goals for the Jambos since who? A. Rudy Scatchell. B. Jamie Walker. C. John Cahoon. Or D. John Robertson.
Oh, I should know this. Right. Process of elimination. Rudy didn't get 50. I don't think. I don't think Rudy got 50. Walker did, but I don't think he got more than 50. Robbo's Robbo. Colquhoun's Colquhoun's the wild card because surely surely Robbo surpassed 50. Or no. Robbo could have surpassed 50 before Colquhoun got 50, but then Robbo kept scoring afterwards. But he's already passed. Oh, but I think I'm between Robbo and Colquhoun because I don't think Rudy did it. I think Walker got 50 exactly and then stopped scoring. I'll go Colquhoun because I think it's a wild card.
It's a wild card, and it's the correct answer, Daniel McIver. John
Yes!
Cahoon, it
Get
is.
in.
Yes, saw that on the SPFL's Twitter today,
Oh,
actually.
really?
So yeah, that's
Wow.
quite a good start. That. So yeah, two from two.
I'm
Start this on
flying.
fire. Question number three is your true or false.
This is where it all goes wrong.
Hearts have kept more Scottish Premiership clean sheets this season than Dundee and Kilmarnock combined.
I think we've kept like 3 clean sheets. I think we've kept like 3 or 4. So do I think between them, Dundee and Kill? I think the answer to this is either it's going to be true or if it's false, there's like a difference of 1 or something because there's not that's such a specific question. Is it a bluff? And it's like, yeah, it's so mad and it's true, or is it a double bluff because it's like, no, it's false, but it's only by 1. I'm gonna guess it's a bluff and say it's true.
You are right. We have kept three clean sheets.
But they've kept like 4.
Dundee have kept one, and Kilmarnock have kept one. So you are
Oh my
correct.
god!
Yes.
How are they
We,
both above us, man?
I know. How mental is this league? I thought that you'd fall for the double bluff. And yeah,
I know
that was
you.
impressive.
I know
Yeah,
you
no,
too much.
worryingly, you do. You're right. You're on fire here, 3 for 3. And
Smashing
you were
it.
worried about this quiz. You know your stuff. Relax, settle down.
It's mostly I mean, I've not known an
Yeah,
answer
yeah, I was gonna
yet.
say,
It's
yeah.
just
Yeah.
complete
I should have just
guesswork.
left these and you should have
Yeah,
gone, yeah, 48.
yeah, exactly.
Doctor Who.
70. Mark Berigati fucking bailing out Dundee United, even though he wasn't even in the question. That's what happens when I don't have multiple choice.
Question number 4. Kilmarnock equalised against Dundee United in their last league game from a penalty kick. Hearts are one of 2 teams yet to win a penalty in Scotland's top flight this season. Who is the other
I
one? Is
don't
it
know.
A, Aberdeen, B, Rangers, C, Celtic, or D, Dundee United?
For some reason, I had in my head Ross County, so it's not them. Um, I'm trying to think if I've seen. I mean, obviously, there's the meme penalty to Rangers. Has the meme completely died and they've not had one at all? I feel like they have, though. Celtic have, because it was one against us. Engels.
That's when they tried to justify it was worth 11 million quid. Nobody's been
Shanklin,
seen since.
Shanklin just shouting at him. Big pressure as he, like, without looking, puts it back on it and Shanklin can't score a penalty to save his life. I'm going to go with Aberdeen.
Oh, Daniel McIver, your
Ah,
run has come to an end.
fuck. Is it Dundee United?
No, you spoke about the meme dying a death.
Really?
Yeah, Rangers are the other team that haven't.
Wow.
You wouldn't have thought so, eh?
Nah. I just
How
assume
wild is
they
that?
get two a
I
game.
know, I know.
Like, that's
Absolutely crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, Hearts and Rangers, the only 2 teams yet to win a penalty in the Scottish Premiership this season.
Wow.
So it was total guesswork. But out of the guesswork, you did pretty well.
To get
75%
75% on
yeah,
complete guessing, I'll take that
done
absolutely.
pretty well. Ready for the famous
Right.
stroke infamous Who Am I?
Let's go.
I was followed by clubs such as Ajax and Arsenal, previously going on trial at Chelsea before signing for the Jambos from a team they play in this season's Europa Conference League group stage. I've only played in 2 countries throughout my career, Scotland being the second with HMFC, where I arrived due to injuries playing their part in my career. My time at Hearts is most remembered for me coming off the bench in a noteworthy substitution rather than anything else I did on the park. I retired from football earlier this year, aged just 30. Who am I?
I have
Get fans
no
Wikipedia
idea.
and you can guess away.
The substitute thing is the only thing I'm focusing on because I won't know anything else from those other clues. I won't know about a guy who was scouted by other teams. I don't know every team that Chelsea play. Is that what you said? Did you say Chelsea? Something about Chelsea? You say
Previously
Chelsea?
going on trial at Chelsea.
There you go. I knew you say Chelsea. I was like, why is that in my head? I don't know who Chelsea have played, apart from that Noah. And I think it's the
Oh, they were just when you think that we're like propping up the table in this European
no.
competition, you get mobs like that
Yeah.
really are.
And Petrofac.
That was a generous 8. That could have been
Yeah.
18.
So this substitute thing, I'm trying to think of like famous sub appearances. But the way you've said that doesn't even make it sound like he did anything good. It just sounds like he did something. So I need to narrow this down. Between what seasons did he play for Hearts?
This man played for Hearts between 2018 and 2019.
He was here for a year.
He signed an 18-month contract with Hearts in January 2018. And he left his new club by the end of 2019.
So he joined us in the January, was here until the summer of 2019, signed for a new club and left them by the end of that calendar year. God. 2018 is a weird time because we signed so many players. That's Levine. So, like, Who in that January? Because that was that wasn't the season where we started off flying, then Naismith's knee blew up at
No, that was
Murrayfield.
the
That was the season before.
following.
That was 17-18, wasn't it?
Uh, no, I remember 18-19 was the top with that, and we reached the cup final. It was the cup final season because we started the season like a house on fire. Fell off, finished
It
sixth.
was that season. Naismith blew up his knee at Murrayfield in the League Cup semi against
No,
Celtic.
yeah, aye,
Yeah.
sorry. 17-18, yeah. I don't know why I'm helping you here.
So yeah, that is the season before. This is 18-19. Oh no, but yeah, he signed January 18. Yeah, right. So it is in that season. It is in the 17-18 season. Right. I cannot tell you who we signed in that in that January because I can just remember the start and then the very end. Because yeah, it's the Ryan Edwards final where Edward
Yes.
dived and Haring came off. Yeah, right. I'm not
Bobby
going to know the
Lamal, what are you
clubs.
doing for that winning goal?
I know. I'm not going to know the clubs. I played in two nations. Nah. I feel like I should ask his nationality and just try and narrow down who we had at that time.
Okay.
He's retired at 30. That's such a weird stat. What nationality is this man?
This man is Danish.
Of course he is, because we're fucking playing in Denmark. Do I just say Thomas
Did you say
Delaney?
that this upcoming fixture is the Derby?
Derby. Who have we had that's Danish? The only person I can think of is that Tulberg, and he didn't play for us in 2018. Did he even play for
No.
us?
This guy was supposed to be a Great Dane, but he was an anything but Great Dane.
I cannot think of a single Danish player we've had in the last decade. Danish, played under Levine.
It's actually worrying that I thought of this player to keep him aside for this game.
That's
That's
you need
really sad.
you
It's
need to get
really
out more.
sad.
Um,
I'm such a loser.
Dane that played for us.
A not so great Dane.
I'm just now trying to think of Scandinavians because I can just think of Bjorn Jonsson, but he wasn't. He wasn't Danish. Who was blonde? Or he signed a Danish Hearts player.
Hmm. You've got another question, rather than just leaving us in the sign of
No, I
silence.
don't.
Not the best for a podcast.
No, I
Yeah.
don't.
Oh, you're the ass.
I've
The year
asked
and the
here.
yeah, the year and the country. Oh God. Oh, you're in deep doo doo. Neither you do. You shouldn't have let on there. I'd let you out on that
Right.
one here.
No, the sanctity of this podcast is too much.
Yeah,
Danish.
that's it.
Come on. Right. Let's try and work this out. There's no defenders who were Danish. There was no defenders. Midfielders. This like Dooms here. Perry Kitchen's been and gone.
He did
Naismith.
go to Denmark, to be fair.
He
Perry
did go to
Kitchen, but we
Denmark.
didn't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Naismith was a forward. Lafferty wasn't. Lafferty was here the season before. No, he wasn't. Lafferty was here this season. Right. Uche's not here yet. He signs that summer and isn't Danish.
Stephen McLean signs that summer.
Stephen
Again,
McLean
not Danish.
isn't Danish. Right, it's not a striker. Fullbacks. Bobby Burns is the Danish. Aaron Hickey hasn't yet broken in. Also not Danish, but plays under a Dane currently.
Just literally played in Italy and currently plays in England.
Oh shit, I forgot about the other fact. He's only played in two. Right, so surely he's only played in Denmark. No, he was on trial at Chelsea. So that means he's played in England. So he's only played in England and Scotland.
No, well, my thinking was for the clubs that he's represented.
Okay, fair.
Denmark
Okay,
and
so
in
he's
Scotland.
played Denmark and Scotland.
We are his only non-Danish club, I should
Right.
stress.
Okay. Who would we have signed? January. I feel like we made a couple of signings in that January that were rubbish.
That would be a fair comment, yes.
Oh, so he's rubbish. Right,
I've told you he's a not so great Dane.
true.
I mean, even the clue. What is the clue? My time at Hearts is most remembered for me coming off the bench in a noteworthy substitution rather than anything else I did on the park.
So, right, my logic is that that means he's done something good, but the way you frame that means it isn't. What were big subs in that season that were bad? Haring came off in the final. Who replaced him? Because we're 1-0 up at that point. Who replaces Haring? I can't remember. The only other one I can think of is Naismith. Who replaces Naismith in that semi-final? I was there. All I remember is Michael Smith getting absolutely ruined by Scott Sinclair and me dying.
And Ryan Christie's wonder goal.
Yeah, I was right behind that.
So was I.
Naismith blows up his knee. We're actually starting well. He goes down. Who comes on for him? Remembered him. He's not Danish though. Shit. I don't think he's Danish. But I don't have another name. I don't think he's Danish, but the only name I have in my head is Danny Amankwa. And I don't know if he's Danish, but that's my final answer. We also might have done him.
Daniel McIver. We've not done Danny Amankwa because the answer is Danny Amankwa.
Yes! that is one of the best ones I've ever got. I'm buzzing with that. That's so weird that out of everything you said, the first thing I went to was that's the season Naismith's knee blew up.
Danish of Ghanaian descent, but yes. And you are right. Stephen Naismith comes off at Murrayfield, replaced by Danny Amankwa. I cannot believe you hadn't got it up to that point. I'm thinking, please forget. Move on for the Naismith sub. Move on. But
I'm
yes,
so glad. Right. That clue is the one clue that did it. Like everything else. Didn't know he had a trial at Chelsea.
I had to have something that would.
Oh yeah, because what else are you going to put? He retired.
Try and trick it. Yeah, 30 years old.
What
so
a
we signed him
shame.
from Copenhagen. He then went back to Sonderski.
We signed him from Copenhagen.
And then Hobro is his last team. And that 2023. And then
what a shame.
I remember that. He retired earlier this year.
I so remember just being like, oh my God, we're going from Stephen Naismith to Danny Amankwa.
Yeah, exactly. So the Danny Amankwa derby takes place in midweek.
How hard has it been to not drop that in throughout this whole fucking episode?
You have no idea. Well, literally have been biting my tongue the entire time.
I feel like it was worth me taking 10 years to get it because I got it. If I hadn't got it, it would have been a disaster.
When you remember Danny Amankwa.
Happy. There's never been a human being in existence as happy you remember Danny Amankwa.
What a boy.
But if you got Danny Amankwa and remembered him earlier than me, please let us know. If you've been watching on YouTube, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you've been listening, please leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice. Perth to Paisley on all the socials. Perth to Paisley at gmail.com if you want to fire us over a picture of Danny Amankwa's lovely face. I cannot believe I've got that. Adam, where can we get you on all the socials?
You can find me watching the highlights of the League Cup semi-final between Hearts and Celtic at Murrayfield, including a cameo from the one and only Danny Amankwa at Adam T. Kendall.
We'll be back next week to discuss all the fallout from Copenhagen, from Kilmarnock to
the Danny Amankwa derby.
The Danny Amankwa derby, to preview another doubleheader of games and anything else that happens up until then. But until then, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Come on!